Hello guys, my name is King Chiagozie, and on today's edition of Piano Music and Entertainment, I'm going to show you how to set the keyboard so that the keyboard will have 3 different voices at the same time. In the last video that I made for you guys, I taught you how to split your keyboard to have 2 different sounds, especially bass guitar and jazz guitar or your lead guitar. But now, I want to show you how to play the keyboard and 3 different voices will be sounding at the same time. So if you missed my last video, please go back to it because I won't go into detail because I know I did that one very well. As usual, the first thing to do is to know the names of the voices that you want to combine together. In this video, I'm going to combine. Which voices are we going to use? Alright, let's make use of jazz guitar, solo string, and trumpet. Let's make use of trumpet. Let trumpet be the third voice that we're going to make use of in this place now. Now, as usual, the first thing is to know the number for the voice. If you don't know the number for the voice in your keyboard, just go to the section where they wrote voice. If I don't know the number for trumpet, the number for trumpet is already written for me. If it's not exact, I can now use this plus button to plus and minus till I get the exact voice that I'm looking for. So the first part in the setting is to set the right hand part of the keyboard. That's the M voice. The first thing I will do, I'll go to this voice button. I will now punch it 1. I will now go to these numbers. Which voice do I want to be sounding on the right hand side of the keyboard? For me, I like guitar to be sounding on the right hand side of my own keyboard. So in this keyboard, the number for jazz guitar is 44. In your own keyboard, I don't know the number for jazz guitar in your own. You can go to this voice and look for where they wrote guitar. For example, in this keyboard, guitar is 40, so you can now scroll. You'll be plussing and plussing using this button till you get the number of jazz guitar for your own keyboard. Then you know the number to press. After selecting the jazz guitar, remember the jazz guitar is my M voice. I will now touch this button where they wrote function. I'll touch the function button. I will now start scrolling. I'm scrolling so that since I've selected the M voice, I want to set the M octave. My split point is already in 59. You can select any split point that you want. You change your M voice to 120 or 127, anything you like. It depends on you. It depends on your own preference. Just know that the higher the volume, the higher the sound for that side of the keyboard. I'll press function again and I'll continue scrolling. The M octave should be in -1. I'll press the function button and I'll continue scrolling. The M reverb should be in 44, but if you leave it in 42, there's no problem with that. Then I'll keep on scrolling. I will now go to where they wrote S voice. The S voice, remember, M is for the right hand side of the keyboard, while S is for the left hand side of the keyboard. My S is in finger bars. If you like to use finger bars, you can use that one. If you don't want to use finger bars, I prefer to use solo string. But if you don't like solo string, you can select any other voice that you want. But just know that that one will be sounding like bass on the left-hand side of the keyboard. After you have selected the voice for S voice, that's the left-hand side of the keyboard, you keep on scrolling. You see S volume. S volume should be lower than M volume. I used to select 115. You can select any one you want in your own. Then S octave. S octave will be 0 because if it's a minus, the bars will be too much. Then I've already finished setting 2 voices. Now the problem is I want 3 voices to be coming out at the same time. So remember, the first one I set is the M voice. The second one is the S voice. Now the third thing that will make it to have 3 voices is the one we call D voice. Watch my scrolling now. Yeah, I've reached D voice. Now in this keyboard, in this tutorial, I told you people that I want to make use of jazz guitar, solo string, that's my bass guitar, and trumpet. You can use any one you want. In this keyboard, the number for trumpet is 109. After I selected the voice, I'll keep on scrolling. I will now select the voice for the D voice. The volume, I mean. You can select 110 or whatever you want. The octave, leave it in minus. Now that you are through with setting the M voice, the octave, the volume, S voice, the octave, the volume, the D voice, the octave, the volume, you now go back to your transpose. The transpose is for keys. The transpose is for keys. Now that you're through with that one, you will now look for where the road split. You look for the split button. I will now touch it so that everything that I was setting since will now appear. For example, now for the guitar part, you see how it's sounding, right? Now for the bass guitar side, you see, my left hand side is sounding like bass guitar now. My right hand side is sounding like lead guitar. Now, anytime I'm playing, remember it's two voices, and I want that third voice that I set that time to appear as the praises or the worship is going on. Remember, there's a place you press the split button so that the third voice, so that the whole setting will appear, right? There's a button behind it that is called the dual button. If you hit the dual button, that trumpet will come out. So what I'll be doing now is, anytime I want the third voice to appear, I'll press the dual button. Anytime I'm free, because that third voice, they usually use it for soloing keyboard. When you finish soloing the song, like if the singer is singing, there will be a time they will give you an interval or the interlude to sing or to do whatever you want to solo and do whatever you want to do. After that interval of soloing, you now press this dual button to remove it, and that trumpet or that third voice or whatever you use in setting your own will now stop automatically. You may decide not to use trumpet, you may decide to use string, choir, what's their name, tenor sax, and so on and so forth. So let's practicalize it and see how it looks like. So guys, let's see how it sounds now. Let's combine the two sounds. So that's it, guys. Like, follow, subscribe.